If I was a tournament director, I would do anything for her to be at my tournament. Daria Saville reacts to Eala's crowd draw at Abu Dhabi Open. Former Australian number 1 Daria Saville reacted to the public turnout that Alexandra Ela attracted at the Abu Dhabi Open. The Russian-born Australian player is currently off the tour due to her pregnancy, although she has followed closely what is happening on the tour and even made appearances during the past Australian Open on television broadcasts. Meanwhile, the action continues on the WTA Tour, and the most relevant event of the week is undoubtedly the WTA 500 Abu Dhabi Open, which brought together 5 top 20 players, led by defending champion Belinda Bencic, along with names like Katerina Alexandrova, Clara Tauson, and Ludmila Samsonova. However, the player who has stolen the most attention is the Filipino Alexandra Ela, 20 years old and currently world number 45, who is making her debut in the tournament after receiving a wild card. The former US Open Junior champion debuted with an important victory over Zeynep Sonmez, 6-4, 6-3, and advanced. In the second round, she will face Alexandra Sasnovich this Wednesday in pursuit of her spot in the quarterfinals. As is customary in Eala's matches, the Filipino public filled the stadium to see who is already the best tennis player in the history of the Philippines, a country that has previously had no representatives at the highest level. At 20 years old, Eala has made history as the first Filipino to beat top 10 players, former Grand Slam champions, and to break into the top 100, even reaching the top 50 in recent weeks. Alexandra Ela is selling out stadiums. Eala has become one of the most exciting names on the tennis tour, and Filipino fans have made her feel as if she is playing at home in most of the stadiums where she competes. One of the biggest sensations on the WTA Tour, both for her youth, talent, and charisma, something that Australian Seville highlighted, as she was surprised by the attention her colleague generates. Alexandra Ela is selling out stadiums whether she's playing singles or doubles, commented the Australian in a video on her social media. Tournaments where the fan attendance wasn't that high in previous years. If I was a tournament director, I would do anything for her to be at my tournament. Eala is also competing in the doubles draw, where she teamed up with Indonesian Janice Tien, forming a fully Asian duo, and they defeated in their debut a pair of experienced doubles players, former doubles number 1 Kristina Mladenovic along with former Roland Garros doubles runner-up Leylah Fernandez. Eala and Tien secured the victory in a third-set tiebreak in a full stadium. I'd also make sure that she's on schedule every day, singles and doubles, Daria Saville added on social media. Because then people come to watch Alex and then stay for more tennis. But yeah, you can see it in the crowd numbers whether Alex is playing or not. The Filipinos are showing up for their girl, and I love it. The 31-year-old player will have her first child in March with her husband Luke Seville, and made her last appearances at the 2025 US Open, being defeated in the first round by Jule Niemeyer, 0-6, 2-6. According to Seville herself, she played both Wimbledon and the US Open while being pregnant without knowing it, making these her last 2 tournaments played, both in the qualifiers. Her last official main draw match dates back to the French Open at the end of May, when after winning in qualifying she faced, in the first round, the 2025 Australian Open champion Madison Keys. Seville, a former world number 21, hopes to return to the courts after her pregnancy. If I were a tournament director, I'd move heaven and earth for her. Imagine for a moment you're standing at the baseline of a tennis court, not as a player but as a dreamer, a person entrusted with the exhilarating, unpredictable, often chaotic task of running a professional tennis tournament. The lights are bright enough to rival the sun. The hum of conversation swirls like a breeze, yet there's an undercurrent of electricity that is impossible to ignore. Then she steps onto court, and something changes. That's the moment Daria Saville described with unbridled sincerity at the 2026 Abu Dhabi Open. The moment when tennis becomes more than just a sport, when it becomes a magnet for hearts, hope, and heritage. If I was a tournament director, she said, I would do anything for her to be at my tournament. And in those words lies a lesson far greater than good organization. A lesson about connection, leadership, and the rare magic that certain athletes bring to the world stage. A rising star and a crowd magnet. When 20-year-old Alexandra Ela entered the Abu Dhabi Open, a W500 event featuring seasoned stars like Belinda Bencic and Katerina Alexandrova, few could have predicted the tidal wave of fan energy she brought with her. Eala, ranked around world number 45, made history not just with her play but with the roar of the crowd whenever she stepped onto court. Filipino fans swarmed the stands so completely that stadium attendance noticeably spiked every time her name appeared on the scoreboard. This wasn't just casual interest. This was a phenomenon. Tens of thousands turned up, flags and chants in tow, painting a vibrant mosaic of passion. Even other tennis professionals noticed. In the world of meticulously planned draws and calculated scheduling, nobody expected tennis fans to behave like football supporters at a derby, yet that is exactly what happened. Eala's presence turned routine matches into celebrations of pride, culture, and collective joy. In the stands, you could feel it, something rare and almost intangible. A shared heartbeat between a player and a global audience. A feeling that somehow this tournament, this sport, could be better, bigger, brighter because of her. 2. The magic of presence. As the commentary rolled and the stadium lights glowed, another story unfolded, not of rankings or points, but of presence. You see, being a tournament director isn't just about lining up players or setting up schedules. It's about creating moments. Moments that linger in memory long after the trophies are handed out. Moments that make fans travel halfway across the world. Moments that make broadcasters adjust their cameras. Moments that make journalists pause and think, who is this? Alexandra Ela was that moment in Abu Dhabi. Seville's reaction wasn't mere praise. It was an acknowledgement of something deeper, that Eala has become a catalyst for joy, energy, and connection in tennis. She doesn't just play matches, she creates experiences. Experiences that, if harnessed by tournament planners, have the power to reshape the rhythm of an event. Imagine pairing strategy with this kind of energy. Imagine scheduling her matches in featured slots, promoting her presence in doubles as much as in singles, and building storylines around her journey. Imagine a tournament director who doesn't just host tennis, but cultivates an audience. That's the vision Seville hinted at, one where the sport embraces its burgeoning stars and celebrates them as the pole they truly are.